I have a question. Today you spoke about Khilafah.
Yes. Can you hear? Okay. You're saying today we spoke about the Khilafat. Yes. That was in the khutbah.
But in the Arab world, everybody's like brainwashed against Khilafat.
Yes. In the Arab world, everyone is brainwashed against Khilafat. Yes.
So this saying why?
That's why no hope in the Arab world. What is that?
So this saying why do we need Khilafah and why do we need Khalifah?
Why we need?
So why do we need all this? We're already Muslims and everything is good.
We're already Muslims and everything is good. Are we Muslims? By name, we may be. But Islam is not a personal religion. This is the thing. If it's a personal religion, Holy Prophet ﷺ would not turn the whole society and the whole, not only the Arab society, but the Byzantine society and the Persian society, the superpowers at that time, he would not touch them. He would not turn them upside down. He would not. He would just make it personal religion. Just pray 5 times a day, be good people, eat, drink, and you'll be okay. He did not, no? He turned the whole Arab society upside down. He turned the whole Byzantines upside down. These are superpowers, understand? It's like saying that, Shaykh Efendi, we are turning the whole, let's say, America upside down. Or the whole Russia upside down, or the whole China upside down. That's what the Prophet was doing at that time. A group of people that had nothing. But they had Allah. And they had the Holy Prophet ﷺ. So, what is the understanding of Islam now? That's the thing. Everyone has a different understanding. These are the days where anyone who claims that they're Muslim, claiming that they have direct connection to Allah, claiming that they have direct connection to the Kitabullah. Not even the Tabi'ins, they say we have a direct connection to Allah. Not even the Sahabis, they say we have a direct connection to Allah. They have a connection to the Holy Prophet ﷺ. So now we have 2 billion Muslims, 2 billion heads. Why is China taking over the whole world? China is how many billions? About the same, no? 2 billion. Because they have one head. One. And they follow. And they trust. For 1400 years, more or less, the Muslims, they only had one head too. They had kings, they have some sultans, but they have one head. The Padishah, the Emperor, the Khalifah, one head. But these are the days everyone is claiming, just because they know Islam, they claim, I have the real Islam. Or, I can interpret Islam any way that I want. If you know a couple of ayat in Arabic, oh, forget about it. You are your own mazhab. If you know how to speak Arabic, you're going to say, I'm a prophet now. Why I have to follow this imam or that imam? Why I have to follow this shaykh and that shaykh? I read the Quran, right? Quran is saying, read. So I'm reading. So this is what I understand. Which is why the Holy Prophet, he said, Islam will be split into 73 different groups. Before that, he said, Judaism is going to be split into 71 different groups. He says only one of them is on this right way, one group of Jews. The rest, they're going to the hellfire. Then he says, Christianity is going to be split into 72 different groups. One of them is on their way of haqq. The rest, they're going to end up in the hellfire. And he says Islam, the Muslims are going to be divided into 73 different groups. Only one group that is going to be saved, the rest is bounding to hellfire, Shaykh in his own words. Prophet ﷺ is saying this. He didn't say split into 73 different groups, don't judge, don't bully, don't force. Every group is the same. As long as they say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh, everyone is the same. He did not say that. This is Rahmatul Alamin. Can anyone claim to have more rahmat than this one? He says only one, the rest is going to hellfire. He didn't leave it open, vague, so that people are going to guess. They asked him, the companions, which group is that, Ya Rasulullah? He says, those who follow my sunnat. And he didn't stop there. He says, my sunnat and the sunnat of my companions, of my sahabis. Why is this important? Because everyone is claiming to follow the sunnah of the Prophet. Correct? From Wahhabis to Shiis to Yazidis to Ibadis to every group. Everyone is claiming we're following the sunnah. Sufis. But the Prophet ﷺ did not stop there. He says, those who follow my sunnat and the sunnat of my sahabis. So now there is a protocol, there is a chain. You have to follow the sahabis. You have to follow the tabi'ins. You have to follow the tabi'ins. You have to follow all those ones. Where are you? You are here. You have to follow those ones who follow those ones who follow the tabi'in, those who follow the companions. If you don't, then you're bound into hellfire, no matter how much you say that you're belonging to Islam. This is what's happening in this world, 2 billion Muslims. Never before we have so much power, so much wealth, so much education, so much everything, useless. We cannot even protect our women and our children. They're being slaughtered every single day. Useless. Why? Because our leaders saying, we don't want Khilafat. 100 years ago, our leaders are saying and fooling from the top people, we don't want Khilafat. We don't want to follow a Turkish person. Because the West brought nationalism into the Ummah. Because for 1400 years, the Muslims were not looking at each other as separate. This is just a skin color. Our shahadat keeps us together. There is no visa to go from Balkans to enter into North Africa to go to Indonesia. No, because all the Muslims, we are brothers. We are not separated. But when the disease of nationalism entered, now everyone started to wake up and say, no, I'm not Muslim first. I'm not spirit first. I'm not the souls of the Kalubala first. First, I am Egyptian. First, I am Arab. First, I am Bosnian. First, I am Albanian. First, I am Indian. Now you're putting the dunya definition. This is not real. This is passing. This is not the color of Allah. This is not the color of our spirit. But they get caught up in that. And they say, we don't want to be under the Ottomans. So then began a very harsh campaign for over 100 years of just very brainwashing the people. Anything connected to the Khilafat, anything connected to the mulks, anything connected to the kings and the sultans, very, 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 very bad. No discussion, nothing. Evil. Anything connected to democracy, oh, very, very good. MashaAllah. Look at our Muslim leaders today. They're holding democracy or they're holding tyranny. They're holding clean accountability to Allah or they're not accountable at all. So Islam divided into 73 different groups. This is why we're calling ourselves Ahl Sunnah wal Jamaat. Because the other hadith, the Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, those who follow the majority, they will never fall into error. They will never fall into a big mistake. Follow the majority. It is so important, Khilafat, that when the Prophet ﷺ is saying, if 3 days, there is no Khalifah, there is no Islam. No Islam. 3 days. Because now Islam is not just going up and down. That's what they're teaching us. Islam is just saying shahadat, praying 5 times a day, okay. What else? And the rukun of the iman, this is. And the ihsan, this is Islam. This is Islam? This is all Islam? That's it? What about our fardu ain? What about our fardu kifaya? What about social justice? This is what the Prophet ﷺ specifically came. To bring social justice to the people, to protect the women, the children, the yatims, to bring down the zulm, to make everyone to understand where your presence is in Allah, not to each other. So only one is saved, he's saying. The rest are bounding to the hellfire. Which is why, do you know in our history, the khutbah is also saying, study your history. You must know your history. Are they teaching Muslims history? No, they're not. They're making us to learn other people's history. Which people? Oh, the people who came and stole our lands and stole everything from us and destroyed everything and brought bloodshed. Oh, their history? Yeah, we're learning their history very good. MashaAllah. So big blessing came to the Muslims, since the Khilafat fell. Allah is saying, you are not going to be under my shadow. You're not going to be ruled under my laws. Then you're going to be ruled by tyrants. You're going to be ruled by the unbelievers. Right after the Holy Prophet ﷺ, he was veiled. The majority of the Bedouin tribes in the Hijaz turned against him. They had bayat, they made a promise, they betrayed him. They declared that they are independent. They declare, we no longer follow you. We no longer follow. Our agreement was with Muhammad ﷺ. They say, not with Abu Bakr. Some of them, that was the only difference. Some of them, they are saying, we don't need Khilafat. Prophethood is dead. If prophethood is dead, why we sing Muhammad Rasulullah? They say it's dead. Finish. Everything else they did. Listen carefully now. Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq went to war with them. And before he went to war, he spoke to his troops, the Sahabis and the Tabi'ins, and he said, today we're going to go to war with our own brothers. We're saying Shahadat, they are saying Shahadat. They are praying 5 times a day, we are praying 5 times a day. They're fasting, we are fasting. They're giving zakat, we are giving zakat. Of course, by that time, once you cut from the Khilafat, you don't pay zakat. That is one of the biggest things. They don't pay zakat. And it says, when we go to war, we say, when they go to war, they are going to say, Ya Allah. He says, but when we go to war, we are going to say, Ya Muhammad. This is very heavy words coming from Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq. He went to war and he decimated tens of thousands of people. That from the outside, it looks as if they're all Muslims. Why he's not saying, you think, why he didn't think to have a conference, like so many Muslim conferences these days, to just shake hands and say, don't fight, it's okay, all of us, we're brothers. They signed that, the Aman Treaty, no? They signed it to say that, no, we cannot pronounce takfir on every, because you swing to the whole extreme of the Wahhabism that says everyone is kafir. Ahl Sunnat kafir, Tasawwuf, Sufi people, forget about it. They are worse than kafir. So, when that was engineered by our enemies, and they put the Wahhabis to be in power for decades, and they brought Islam to such an extreme now, they were slaughtering people in the Rawza Sharif. They were slaughtering people in front of the Kaaba. They're saying these are animals. They say they have no Islam. Qatl wajib, they're saying. Their children, wajib for their children to be our slaves. Their women to be our jariyah. The men to be killed, their properties to be taken. Fatwas were written about this. Who was supporting them? The British. Who? The hero of the Arabs, Lawrence of Arabia. Sharif Hussein was fooled. This is our history, you must know, because it still has repercussions up till today. So Wahhabism took over the Haramain. no Khalifah. 3 days there's no Khalifah, there is no Islam. During the time of Hazrat Umar, when he passed, he says, I'm going to give you the candidates, those who are nominees to become the Khalifah. And he pulled out his own son, although his son is at that level of becoming a Khalifah, so that no one can accuse him of putting off favoritism. And it says, put them inside a room, lock them up. If they didn't come up with a conclusion, with a decision within 3 days who is going to be a Khalifah, he says, burn them all alive. This is Shariat, you understand? Hazrat Umar is representing Shariat. Burn them all, he says. Why is that? Because it is so important to find a leader. Without a leader, now there's going to be complete destruction and fitna in the Ummah. So they have to choose one. So they say no Khalifah. When? 1980, 1923. Said no more Khalifah. Everyone declaring themselves heads. And they're saying now, this whole Hijaz, that has been Hijaz and the land of the Prophet ﷺ, they say now it belongs to the Saudi family. Until today we call it Saudi Arabia, correct? This is bidat. This is kufr. So they swing. The world swung to that. Very extreme. And these Wahhabis making takfir. So now, it's very smart. So now they say we have to swing over to the other side. Everything is lenient. Everything is liberal. Everything, no takfir. Everyone is accepted. And now all the leading scholars from west to the east signing a paper to say, we recognize everyone to be on the right way. Forget about the 73. There are thousands now of groups of Muslims. Everyone is accepted. Who are accepted? Those ones cursing at the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Yes, there are Muslim groups that are doing that. It's accepted. Those who are cursing at Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq, it's accepted. It's okay also. Those ones that they're worshipping to shaitan, extreme groups exists. We're accepting them. Those ones who deny the Prophet, saying that we only believe in the Quran. There are so many coming from the Ahlul Sunnah. It's accepted. It's okay, they say. Those ones who say we don't believe in any of the hadiths, is accepted. Any group, they say we have to accept because we have to unite. Those ones, what would Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq do in a situation like this? You understand? Now, are we going around telling everyone, you are kafir, you are this, you are that? No, we're not. Are we going around saying to everyone, we are the only right ones? No, we're not. Are we saying that people who come here from different mazhabs or different understandings or different akidah even, or different religions, we're going to say, get out, you cannot be here? No, we're not. Because there are things there that we can share. You want to sit down and you want to discover your Lord, come and sit with us. It's okay. It's not a problem. But now when Islam has just become praying 5 times a day and personal ritual, then what happened to the whole systems that the Prophet ﷺ overturned? They came back up again now. The Arabs used to bury their children alive, correct? Which country in the world now are they not burying their children before they even come out from the belly of the mothers? Especially in, but don't look at a little bit here at the Planned Parenthood here that we're talking about whole continents, whole countries. They say we prefer boys. Girl comes out, they snap the neck. Because they can't afford sonogram, otherwise they would have killed it in the belly. Okay? Policies that says only 2, only one child policy. You know which country I'm talking about. There's 2, they kill it. They hunt it down. What does it remind you of now? It reminds you like we're living in the time of Musa alayhi salam, where they're hunting down and killing all these children. Now we're starting to see how this is Akhir Zaman. Because you look at all the prophets and all the wrong things the Ummah did to that Prophet, to Allah, all the transgressions, all the big crimes that this Ummah did to the Prophet, Hazreti Lut alayhi salam, what his Qawm was doing. Hazreti Nuh alayhi salam, what his Qawm was doing. Hazreti Saleh, that his Qawm, his Ummah, what do? They just have very shady business practices, correct? The weights, they tinkle with the weights. They change the weights to trick everyone. Every transgression, every wrong crime that every Ummah did, we are doing it now, this Ummah, right now. Since when? Since the Khilafat fell. Muslim countries? Muslim, really? Muslim countries? Morocco is the only country in the world that you can terminate a pregnancy at any stage, no questions asked, is legal. In the land of the saints. This is what Islam is teaching. So the brainwashing is done. It's finished. But for those that they want to sit up and listen a little bit more, they may. Why do we need Khilafat? If you want this world to continue like this until it destroys itself, then don't ask for Khilafat. Why am I asking for Khilafat? If Allah and His Prophet is saying, after this, no more Khilafat, I wouldn't ask for it. No one is going to ask for it. But the Prophet ﷺ is guaranteeing, and he speaks the truth. He says, after me, there will come the rightly guided leaders, the Rashidin. After that will come the Maliks. After the Maliks come, the Sultans are going to come. The Sultans, different from the Maliks. After the Sultans, the world is going to enter into an age of tyranny, Jababir, biting tyranny. After that, you're saying that my rule, the Khilafat, is going to come again with the Khilafat that is like the Khilafat of the Prophets. We're in the age of biting tyranny right now. It's gone on almost for 100 years. And the signs of Dajjal, they are everywhere. But with that is a sign of Mahdi alayhi salam, that he's going to come. This is what we are sitting, and besides everything else that we are looking at and trying to understand, we're looking at the words of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, that reality, and what the awliya Allah, they're teaching us, and we're trying to live our lives clean according to that. You pray 5 times a day, you don't do bad to no one. On the judgment day, you die. On the judgment day, you are going to be questioned. You live in these times, what did you do? There was a man living in this town. This town was doing everything wrong. This man was a pious, religious man. He never did anything wrong. And Allah sent the angel to say, send a la'nat, send a curse to this whole town. And the angel saying, it is known to you, Ya Rabbi, there is one abid there, one servant there that is always worshipping you. He never does anything wrong. And Allah is saying, send that one 10 times more punishment than the rest of the town, because he never stood up to speak the truth, to warn them. And the Prophet ﷺ is giving us 3 things. He's saying, you see something wrong, you have to change it. You cannot change it with your hands, change it with your tongue. You cannot change it with your tongue, change at least in your heart. We come to the station now, we cannot change with our hands. We cannot even speak, especially in Muslim countries. You speak like this, they come and they arrest me, no? Arrest all of you. What Muslim countries? Understand? They don't even allow zikr in their masjids, because they know with the zikr the power is going to come, awakening is going to come. You talk about enlightenment, it's going to come. Enlightenment is to bring light where there is darkness. First you have to understand that darkness. If you don't understand that darkness, light will never come to you. That light that you think it is coming from the angels, coming from Allah, is coming from shaitan, the light of Jahannam. First, you have to understand what is that darkness that you're trying to dispel, inside of you and outside. So now, The zikr of Allah, it is forbidden in the masjids of Allah, and there is an ayat, and Allah is saying, who is more tyrant than that one who forbids the zikr of Allah in his own masjids? Where? Which masjid is allowing? Even if they allow, it shouldn't just allow, it should be that. You should be making a zikr every day. But it's forbidden, no? Yeah. So Muslim countries. The fish rots from the head. Old Ottoman saying. If the head is rotten, the whole body is going to be rotten. That's what they did. They just remove the good heads and they put it with the bad heads there. Even if the people are good, in time they will become bad. And now you can only make this in a country. This is not a Muslim country, but we may speak, we may worship, we may live our lives properly. It's a blessing here. So now, we cannot change with our hands. We cannot speak. In our hearts, we must know what is haq and batil, not to be tricked. Inshallah. But people are stubborn. Especially the Arabs, so stubborn. That's why it takes the greatest prophet to change them. And even then, every nationality, there are issues, of course. There are good things, and there are things that needs improvement. That's why Allah is saying, we created you and we put you into different groups, different nationalities, so that you can find each other and learn from each other. This is what Islam is. Right after the Prophet ﷺ passed, Islam, the ruling of Islam, from Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq, Hazrat Umar, Hazrat Osman, Hazrat Ali. After Hazrat Ali, it was supposed to be passed to the Ahlul Bayt. It was held on by Hazrat Hassan for 6 months. To avoid bloodshed and civil war, exactly what Hazrat Osman did, to avoid bloodshed. He gave it up. Okay, he didn't fight, meaning he didn't fight. Because they came to Hazrat Osman too, and they said, we can fight. He says, no, I don't want to. And who was it who came to murder Hazrat Osman? People who were good, but they were tricked by different agents. One of them was the son of Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq. But that son that did not accept Islam in the beginning. That later when he accepted Islam and he said to his father, oh my father, to know that in the Badr war, if I had met you, I would not have pulled my sword and killed you. Never I'm going to do that. And Hazrat Abu Bakr is saying, oh my son, if I met you in Badr, I would definitely pull my sword and cut your head to pieces. For the sake of Islam, for the sake of the Prophet ﷺ. This is not hate. One of them was him, and he came into the house and he pulled the beard of Hazrat Osman. And he was going to kill him. And Hazrat Osman just looked at him and said, oh my son, if only your father can see you right now. He woke up and he backed off. The rest, they came and they finished him. His blood is on that mushaf. What is making a man like him? What is making a man like Yazid, who grew up with Hazrat Hussein, Hazrat Hassan? They were friends, meaning that they saw, they lived, they ate and they prayed behind the Holy Prophet ﷺ. What makes a man like that to turn and to become destructive, to become evil? This is what Tarikat is concentrating on, to find the evil that is living inside of us and to understand that. Yeah. So, Khilafat, you don't want it. Look what is happening to this world. And the Prophet is promising, ﷺ, is going to return. Maybe in our lifetime, maybe not. It doesn't matter. At least if we have that intention, our name is on the list. Because in reality, if you don't give bayat to the Khalifah, your Islam is not accepted. It is something that is never taught, but it is there for 1400 years. They don't want to teach anyone right now because it's going to wake the Ummah up a little bit. Don't you see? Just a couple of TV shows. The whole Ummah now is waking up to the house of Osman. Hazrat Osman did that. He gave up. Hazrat Hassan, he did that too. He gave up. He didn't fight. But then when you have the Umayyas that were ruling, and after that the Abbasis that were ruling, their policies were completely different from what the house of Osman was doing. They didn't last. There is no colonialism in Islam. Arabs are different, Iraqis are different, Persians are different. If you try to make everyone to be the same, that is against the rule of Allah. And the Ottomans, they were ruling for hundreds of years. They could have easily made Turkish to become the official language. The British ruled India 150 years. Everyone speaks English. The French ruled Lebanon for how long? 50, 80 years? Everyone speaks French. But in Islam, it is not. Because like they say, the language, it is the spirit of the culture. You change that, you change everything now. But what is this for us now? Where do we stand now? Understanding all of this and understanding that the Khilafat is there as a protection for us. We cannot do anything. We can change our heart. We can say, now you're starting to see things the way that the Prophet is seeing, the way that the awliya Allah they are seeing. You're not seeing things with the way that our Muslim leaders are seeing, or the way that the media is seeing, or the way that the West is seeing, or the way that political ideologies they are seeing. Which side do you want to have? Which understanding do you want? There's so many different kinds of understanding. Which understanding do you want? Do you want the understanding of the prophets and the saints, or do you want the understanding of their enemies? It is up to you. May Allah forgive me and bless you, inshallah. May Allah send more protection to us. May Allah wake us up and give us more iman, inshallah, and to hold on tightly to the teachings of the Holy Prophet ﷺ and the awliya Allah. May the feet of our Shaykh always be on our necks. Al-Fatiha.